Hi, this is Terry Lee again, and this is either going to be video 3 or the end of video 2 on just doing the cover for this little book that I'm making for a friend. We're not going to sew the signatures in or anything like that. As a quick recap, we Mod Podged some paper towel on the front, and then I painted it with the gold paint, which I put away. Wait a minute, let me get it. It was Liquitex Basics acrylic, and it's they just call it gold, but it's actually a metallic gold, and it's gorgeous. And I know maybe this color is not everyone's cup of tea, but I think it goes well with what we're going to do. I've done the back because it's going to have a paper on it. I only did the edges. If you remember, the paint did not go well on the cardboard, so I added some cloth medical tape around the edges, and that took the paint really well. I've got the inside cover done, and I've got the papers picked out, if you remember, and I also went ahead and put the little hidden pockets on. Now these hidden pockets are because it's the pattern exactly what it is underneath, and unless you know that the pocket is there, I would bet you $5 that you wouldn't even notice it. So I'm going to put a tag in each one. So this one's going to go here. Yep, this one's going to go here. You know me, I labeled everything. This one's going to go here. And the reason that they're so plain is because on the signatures, look at the cover of the front signature and look at the back of the last signature. So I didn't want to make another big bunch of, hoo-ha with the inside covers. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about, this is the picture I picked out for the back cover. Okay. And then the label for the front that says Bee Culture, I went ahead and Mod Podged it to kind of protect it since it's paper, and then I'm going to glue that on. And remember I told you about the stencil that I was going to get, that was the honeycomb, so I want to show you that real quick. Now I got these from Faber-Castell, or Faber-Castell, I'm not really sure. Faber, I think, is the correct way. And I thought they were going to be plastic, but they came in their paper. So I'm going to protect it with a coat of Mod Podge. It actually recommended that in the packaging, and I thought to myself, well, then why didn't they come that way? That's my own personal thought. But I wasn't sure about using the, even though it's archival ink, on here, on the gold. So I did a test. It's always good to do a test if you're not sure, especially if you're this close to being done. So I painted some gold, and yes, this is on a piece of white paper, but I figured the gold paint, the finish, is the finish. And look how it turned out. Here, let me hold it up closer. Whoops. It turned out fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on the front cover. And so I'm going to glue this down first. Let me get my stencil ready. And I'm using this brush. Came in a set of 6 from Amazon. They're just real soft brushes. They're good for stenciling. I tried to use them for like doing the edges, for inking, and I didn't really like it. I'm using, and I have used all the way through, believe it or not, I've used Vintage Photo. My dog has decided to do something. And so I'm going to glue the paper on first, and I'll tell you why, because I'm going to do some of the stenciling kind of over some of it. Okay, so I'm going to use Fabrifix for this. I'm going to lay this out flat. Move all the papers out of the way. And I want it to be about here. And I think, like when I hang a painting, I think I'm going to make a little mark, and then I'll just move the paper up a little bit. Can't really see the mark. I can kind of a little bit. So I'm going to put the glue on here, and we're going to cross our fingers. So I really, really, really don't want to have a problem at this stage. I think I would actually cry on camera. This has ended up being almost a whole tutorial on doing a cover, didn't it? I was just going to show you how to do the paper towel, but you know me, I get a little carried away. You put some in the corners so I can slide it around a little bit, make sure that it's straight. I find that little extra in the corners gives me a little smush room, sort of like a mushroom. Okay, there's my mark. Oh, excuse the top of my head. Looks a little crooked to me. Okay. I don't know. I hope it's straight because it's starting to stick. That looks straight to me. If it's not, it's too late. Okay. Now we're going to do the stenciling. So I'm going to get out my ink. And obviously my stencil. Now this stencil has 3 different sizes. And this is obviously too big. This one I feel is too big as well. I was going to mix the 2 sizes, but I think I'm just going to stay with this one, and I'm just going to do it randomly. So I'm going to ink up the brush. I think I'm going to do some in the corner. Not all 4 corners, but I'm going to do some in the corner. And it kind of looks like it's going on. I want to make sure that I've got enough on there. Since this is archival ink, it should be good to go. I was thinking about covering over it. Oh yeah, you can see that. I wish it was a smidge darker. Maybe I can get more ink on here and get some more darkness. It's kind of hard to do it with one hand because I do not want to let go of the stencil. That looks darker. And I am kind of pushing hard. That's why I have my thumb right here and my finger right here. I don't want to break the little neck off. I don't want to break his little neck. Yeah, see, that's darker. I like that. I like the combination. I'm going to do a little bit that covers over the label. Not the label, all of it, but just a little bit. And I'm not going to do it as equally dark all the way across. I'm going to have it kind of fade out. Oh, that looks nice. I think it looks good. Doesn't look like a leopard, which is what I was afraid of. And I want to do a little bit more, but I don't want it to look like I'm doing it in the corners. So I'm going to do just a little bit right here. And a little bit up here that kind of goes on the label again. And I think a teeny weeny bit that goes off the page up here at the top, or off the cover. Kind of goes off like that. I'm going to try to make this one a little bit darker. And kind of fade out where it goes off the edge. Okay, I think I'm going to quit while I'm ahead. What do you guys think? Okay, this is my cover. It's got honeycombs on it. I know there's kind of an empty area there, but I don't want to make it look like I was trying to cover the whole thing. I want it to kind of be honeycomby. And I don't know how well, I guess I will when I review this video, that the cover shows the color. But I think it turned out really well. I don't know if my friend will like it or not. She didn't prefer having this type of cover, but without material, my other choice was just painting it. So, or putting paper around, but I've never done that before, and I was afraid of the corners, and I didn't really have the right weight of paper. So that's the front cover. Where'd my other covers go? Here's the back cover. And I seem to have lost my other inside cover. Here's one. Well, it has to be here somewhere, doesn't it? Is it underneath? Okay, well, that's just kind of bizarre. All right, let's put our stencil somewhere safe. Have a drink of coffee. Okay. I just have absolutely no idea where the other one... Oh, here it is. It was turned over the other way. Oh, when I was painting, just so you know, I used... This is a lid to one of those big plastic coffee containers. And I used this as the palette, and then you can just wash it out, and it's like you never used it. And it's the same with this baking sheet. When I go wash it, all the gold will come off, and it will be like I never used it. So I wanted to show you those two tips. I think I told you before, but I'm not sure I told you about the palette. And so I wanted to get those two tips in there. They're on my list. I made a little bitty list this time because I got a little crazy the last time. You know, I don't like it when I get all out of order, and you know, like being in court, out of order. Get out of order. I think I'm always out of order. But you never know. So I'm going to glue the back one on. And then we've done the front. And the two inside ones are done just like the back one. Because I want to move on to something else, which I know that this was... Oh, actually, you know what? We have to remember to do our sari silk first on the inside. I almost forgot. That would have made me very, very, very upset. Because I don't know what I would have done. Well, I guess I would have tied a piece around the outside and waited for the angry message on Messenger from my friend. She's actually gifting this. I'm very nervous. This is the first time I've made anything for something like this. Normally I make stuff for the tutorials, and this is the first kind of commissioned project, even though I only let her cover the cost of the materials, because that's what friends are for. Oh, and I inked around the edge of the paper. And I'm thinking of doing a little bit of honeycomb on here, but now I don't know. Now looking at it, I'm not sure. I think I just want the cover. I think I just want the cover to have it. And I'll let this picture stand on its own, I think. And then, since I took it off the front, I still have this hard part, and it's even got a little bit of cardboard on it. So I know exactly where to glue it, and it's going to glue flat. So I am going to glue it down, but I only want to glue it down as far as the paper, don't I? Because I want it just to come out from under there. Okay, so I want it to be like that. So that's okay. I can move it back out where it was. All right. So now I am going to have to cut it to do it this way. You can see the cardboard on there from where I took it off from the first time. But that's good because hopefully it will dry quicker. Actually, I don't have to cut it. I can run it around here and around here and then glue it. Because I'm going to cut it in half. So if, you know, I guess some of you at home are going, but wait, you won't be able to live there. It's all right. I hear you. I do. I hear you. I feel you too. Terry doing everything backwards, huh? Well, if I did it the way everybody else did it, then I wouldn't be Terry, would I? I would be everybody else. And if I didn't laugh at all my own bad jokes, then where would I be? Okay. So now I can put the papers on, and the papers inside are just like the paper on the back. Okay? So we don't have to do that. Looks kind of funny, doesn't it? But all I have to do is turn it like this, inside out, hold it like this. I guess I could do it now. Hold it straight out like this, and I know that it will be cut right in the middle. And then cut it right there. And I could trim it shorter if I need to. So now I've got that on there. Okay. So I want to talk to you about something else. Now, I have these signatures. Sorry, silk came out a little light, but I still like the gold glittery in there. So I've got these signatures, and I'll unclip one on one side. And so this is a kit. So I added a few pages. So when you open it, then you've got this blank writing part, which I just noticed has white on the bottom. And then you open this one, and then there's this old newspaper ad. It's upside down on this side and right side up on this side. This paper I actually got from my Alice in Wonderland from Janie B. Here's some of my handmade sprayed gold paper with the glitzy in it, and another kit page. And this is a coloring book page from that fancy lady. She makes adult coloring books, Into the Garden or something like that. This is part of another newspaper. This is the short side. This is another kit page. And then I made this, which is a sideways waterfall. And then we get to a smaller page, which I don't want to really flip to. And then we've got the center. Actually. And in the center, oh, I forgot to talk about something else, but all right. In the center is another piece that could have been the cover. All right. Now, the reason this is so plain is because A, it did come. These are the bees and the cheesecloth for the cover. Okay. Whoops. And the cover. And I think I'm only going to use, I may only use one big one right here. Geez, I'm almost tempted to just leave the cover the way it is. I really like it. All right, I'm going to think about that. And think about using the bee or not. They're awfully big. There was a smaller bee. Maybe I'll send the bees. Oh, that was what I was going to tell you, is that she just wants me to put in some pockets and some tucks. And then her friend makes books and she wants her to be able to play with it. So I'm going to send her a bunch of this. Now look at all the ephemera that came with the kit, which is great. But look at it all. There's just tons of it. Tons of it, tons of it, tons of it. Do you see a pocket in here at all? No pocket. So what we're going to have to do, if you watched my tutorial on how I acquire, make, and use templates, you'll kind of know where I'm going on this. Oh, let me paperclip this. Maybe I'll use the bees on the inside. These are made to be put one inside the other, just glued in the middle. And when you open the page, one is glued down. Like, first one's glued to both pages. And then when you open it up, then these bees pop up. But you can't see, oh, those two are the same. You can't see the different bees. And I have a sneaking suspicion that once the book is closed, once you open it, they're all just going to lay flat on top of each other. So I'm not really sure. I think I may just use them like this in the book somewhere. Like maybe sew them in the signature. I'm really just not sure. I really don't know. Not sure how it was supposed to work with different bees. The only reason there's two that have the same bee is because they printed them front and back, so you have to trim that one. When I printed them front and back, for some reason they didn't print out exactly front and back. So there's the bees still. And I inked them. I inked every bit of this ephemera last night. I had an ink party. All right, these are my inside pages. All right, now I'm going to make some pockets. I've already made a tag. I took a tag from I made a template, or out of one from Nature's Remedy by Artie Mays and Tracy Fox. So I used that for the size, and I cut it out so the bean thing would be on the top, and I inked it. And I'm going to use some more for a few more tags. And that's easy enough. You just trace around it and then you cut it out. Now, I'm going to make that into a tag. Probably use, no, that's too fat. I'm not really happy with this tag template. I'd like to cut the top off, I think. Oh, this one. And then I'll make a pocket out of something else. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. These little pocket ones. Oh, and I wanted to talk to you about this one too. Now this little pocket one, as you can see, has the lines on it where you're gonna have to fold it to make a pocket that you can put more than one kind of tight thing in there. So all you have to do, let's see, I want the honeycomb on there. Is there a way to do it? Not really, is there? Oh, yeah, there we go. Wow, this will save down on my cutting too, won't it? Look at that. So I can just draw along here, and here. I guess this is exciting, watching me trace. This would be like watching a little kid color. Oops. I'm sure all of you parents love to watch your children color. I used to when my daughter was little. I used to color with her. Okay, so now all I have to do is cut that out. But I'm also going to move it up just a little bit and make a really light pencil mark that I can erase where the folds are going to go. All right. And then this one. And you're going to know when you do this one up, then wherever it is, actually this one's different, so I shouldn't say that. All right, so let's cut it out. And I am going to cut that little teeny bit because there's a little bit. Apparently my paper trimmer and I are having a bit of a rough spot in our relationship. I need prescription reading glasses instead of just off the shelf because I have a little bit of an astigmatism. So if you see me, if it looks like I'm holding the scissors sideways, you should see the way I have my head tipped. So between the two, making straight lines are a bit of a challenge. All right, so now on this one, you want to look at this and then just look at your template as well. And it says, I wrote on there fold, 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 fold. I did it when I made the template. This is just a scallop, and I'm going to make it sideways, and I'm going to make it into a tuck. But that's not its original purpose. It's one of those scallops that goes on top of one of those door thingies. Okay, so I've got that cut out. Oh, and listen. Oh, here. It's that vellum coated paper. I am now addicted to it. I will not use anything else unless I'm forced to, or if I have to use 110 to make it super heavy. But you can see I made this, well, you can't see, but I made that little mark. And I get my scoreboard out. I'm notoriously bad at folding as well. I almost tipped over my tablet, which I don't record with my tablet. It's just sitting there. I use it to watch YouTube and or the news while I'm working. My doctor told me I was not under any circumstances to watch the news, and I watch it all day. She said it ruined my blood pressure whether I took my medicine or not. So I'm going to use the bone folder and the scoreboard to make a little score. Now be careful because this paper isn't as thick as, you know, like your construction paper, and you can tear it. All right, where's my template? My mark isn't dark enough. Oh, here it is, I think. I have to line it up this way. And see, did you hear that popping sound? That was the sound of me not doing it correctly. And I'm lining up the dot I made with the groove so I know where to score. And scoring is just making a crease in there so it makes it easier to get a straight fold. So now all I have to do is fold these little corners in that I marked. Guess I didn't mark that one quite deep enough after I kind of overdid it on the other one. And you might need to get your bone folder. And you'll notice these aren't very big, and that's good because I don't want it to be a very deep, deep as in easy for things to fall out kind of pocket. I am going to stick it in a corner though. I just wanted to show you how on one of these templates to do the folds. Okay, so now I've got a pocket. Whoops. Oh, it won't look exactly like this because it'll be folded. Anyway, so now we've got the pocket and you can see the place where the fold lines were that are now folded. Because they said fold, so I folded them. Go figure. I never follow instructions. So there's one pocket. I'm going to make another one. Now this is one of the ones from Victoria Designs. You will not be able to get this template unless you buy that great big Life Notes kit. You'll notice it's got this jaggedy edge, which is all well and good. But what I've decided to do is to just tear it instead, because my dog has seen something out the door, so he's losing his mind. I mean, I am going to kind of give myself an idea, just a rough idea, and then I'm going to tear it. Okay, and then I am going to tear it. Now you'll notice I just said that twice because I put you on pause for a second because of the dog. Because he had lost his ever-loving mind. And it was very distracting. Okay, so now you see on this template, you see I wrote the VD for Victoria Designs. I wrote tear because I'm going to tear it. But this was just the guideline. Now I could just draw this and recut all this out. I could. I just don't particularly want to. You'll notice these are at a little bit of an angle. That's called mitering. And that's so you don't, when you fold it under, they don't cross over. Now, these are kind of deep. I don't really want the pocket to be this deep. So I'm not going to score the lines as far in. I'm going to score them here. So I'll have a bigger pocket, but not as deep. Okay? And by deep, I mean how deep this is. When you go to put something in the pocket, how much stuff you could fit in there. This is not that big of a book, and I don't want stuff, falling out. Wow. That's an awfully big pocket, isn't it? I know. I'll just tear it shorter, and that'll make it smaller. Anyway, I just wanted to show you the difference. So I'm just going to cut it out. Cut it to here to give myself an idea. Except I was going to tear it shorter, wasn't I? Doesn't matter. Okay, and then I'm just going to tear it. Now, whatever side you tear up, the other side is going to have the white on it. So I'm going to tear this up. And you see the white? The white is down here. So I'm going to tear this like this. And I'm going to go back and make it smaller, but I want to check it first. And I'd like to have gotten that little bee on there. Let's see what I can do. I did make that cut though. I could probably put a little piece of tape on the back side. And you can just fold one side of a pocket. Actually, I think I'll just print this out again. Look how, you know, because I really wanted that little bee in the corner. It was just too small of a scrap. Use all these. Save these scraps. Use them to make little bitty tags with your Big Shot. And then you'll have little colored tags. Okay. I can use this little bee as well. Okay. So now, this is really big. Well, I'm going to fold part of it in, but still, it's really big. I'm going to make it smaller. Because remember, we've still got to fold it under. And then I'll score it and I'll fold it just like I did this one. So I just wanted to show you those two couple things. Let's see. Yeah, test the stencil first. Use the lid as the palette. Oh, look at that. Everything on my list. So that's it for this. We've got our finished cover. All I have to do is put the papers on the inside. I showed you glue and paper on the back side. I have a funny feeling once you see a person glue one piece of paper, you could probably do it yourself. I showed you a couple of templates. I showed you how to do the stenciling with the archival ink and the brush. These are very, very soft. Sometimes you can find them under makeup brushes. But like I said, I got 6 of these for $7 on Amazon, and I don't think they were listed under makeup brushes. I think they were in with the art stuff. So, and remember, test your stuff first and use your templates. And I think that's it. I think that's it. And I will see you in the next series of videos, and that will be just a second for you. And to start a new series will probably be a couple days for me. Alrighty, bye-bye.